Okay, so today we are changing the oil and filter on a 2004 Oldsmobile Alero. This motor is a 2.2 liter 4-cylinder. Now this would be the same for any 1999 through 2004 Oldsmobile Alero with the same motor, or any 1999 through 2005 Pontiac Grand Am with the same motor, which again would be the 2.2 liter 4-cylinder. And I'll show you that here in just a moment. All right, so some of the tools we're going to need today. I have a flashlight. That's not required, but recommended. I do have a 32 millimeter oil filter socket, which you can just use a 32 millimeter socket or whatever the standard equivalent would be. I feel like maybe 1 1/4 inch. I don't know. But yeah, this is a 32 millimeter socket. That's going to be for your filter. You don't need a Coke. Let me get that out of the way. I'm going to have an extension for that. This will go into that socket. It should be a 15 millimeter socket on the drain plug. I haven't gotten to it yet. But if it's any different, I'll let you know. This is a 15 millimeter socket, 3/8. I have my 3/8 ratchet here. Got the filter. It'll come with an O-ring that goes on the cap for your oil filter, and this is actually on top of the motor. It's easy to get to. And that's the box for it. So this is a SuperTech 9018. So ST9018. I love the SuperTech brand. That's all I use now. You'll see I got like 15 of them for other vehicles over there. All their oil I use, their coolant. I mean, it's just good stuff. So this is what I'm using. I think it was like $3, if even that. I'm using their advanced full synthetic 5W30 oil. The stuff's supposed to be really good. I use in everything else I use, like I said. This engine should take 5.1 quarts. That's what I'm seeing everywhere.
This vehicle takes 5 quarts of 5W30
So I went ahead and got 2 of them.
I was incorrect.
Because I know this engine leaks. I'll have to make another video on how to change the valve cover gasket on this motor as well. So that's what you need today. You know, you don't really need the light. We'll keep that out of it. But you do need the Coca-Cola, so go ahead and go get it. Not sponsored. Just a couple other things you'll need today, or a few other. You're going to need a floor jack or a bottle jack, really any kind of jack. You just need something to lift up this vehicle. If you don't have one of these and you're working a lot, go ahead and buy one. You're going to need some jack stands. That's to hold the vehicle up, keep you safe underneath it. You're going to need a drain pan, just a few things. All right, so starting out, we're going to go ahead and chock the back 2 wheels. You can use anything, and I mean anything. I've got a brake caliper on this boat. I'll just steal that. I've got a big old tire right here on this one. I'll just use that. So the back wheels are chocked. We'll go ahead and pull this emergency brake. Vehicle shouldn't be going anywhere. All right, so first thing we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and jack up the vehicle here at the front. I'm going to use my jack stand, and I'm going to put my floor jack. I'm going to put my 2 jack stands. I'll show you the lift points on this vehicle, one on each side, and we're going to have the vehicle lifted up. That's where you can get underneath it. You can drain the oil. All right, we're here at the front of the vehicle. There's my jack. Get down here. I'm wearing my church clothes, so try to stay somewhat clean. You're going to feel around on something that you can jack up on, which I'm going to say this whole front piece of the frame is good to jack up on. You just want to find the center of it. So you can see here, that's a big piece of the frame. You'll see those 3 bolts there. Now you'll find the center by using your emblem. You'll jack up on that. Don't jack up on here on this plastic. Hit that frame. Here's the center of the vehicle. Mark it with my dirty fingers. We'll hit basically right next to that bolt. So let's move her underneath here. Alright. Make sure she's on there. This car is low, and I'm a big boy. There she goes. And, yep, we're on there. Okay, so let's go ahead and get her jacked up here. You're basically wanting to get it to where you can get underneath it. So it depends how much you like food. For me, it's just a little more than the average person. For some of you, you may not need to jack it up. And for others, you may just need to go get your oil changed somewhere. That looks just about good for me. I may go a few more times. All right, so on each side of the vehicle, we're on the passenger right now. Here's the front wheel. You're gonna come down and you're gonna look for your frame here. This is basically where you're gonna jack it up at, right here at this pinch weld. You'll be able to see it. That's where you're gonna jack it up at. I'll probably lift it up, probably right there where it's actually welded. So I'll do that on both sides. Okay, so I got her to the height I want her at. Come up here, take your stand up. Prop it up there. I like to take my finger and just count. So I'll go 1 opening, 2, 3, 4 openings total. And that's how tall I want it over on that other side. And here's why you do that. We're on the driver's side. You'll see she ain't gonna fit under the well. She does with a little bit of force, but you'll see it ain't gonna fit right there, and that pinch wheel's all bent up anyway. But yeah, I'll go ahead and jack her up just a little bit more. Okay, that should be good. There's beautiful. And really, you can see that little hole right there. That may be your point. So let's go ahead and lower onto these. Make sure she's centered. The way I lower mine, if you have yours, should be the same. You just turn her left. And don't smash your finger while you're jacking. There she goes. I usually leave mine. It's off the vehicle right now, but I'll leave it there just for safety. So there you go. All right, so let's go ahead and pop your hood. We'll come over here. See that lever? Pull it till you hear a click. Come up front. There's the center. Reach your hand in. See this little lever. You'll see the opening there. There's a lever, and you're basically going to pick up on it while you're holding it. See that? Now I'll let go. Pick up on your hood. Do this one-handed. Take your black bar that's down here. Pop it out. Come up over here to the passenger side. You'll see a prop rod hold. It'll say prop rod. I'll show you. Stick it right in there. And then your hood is supported. Go ahead and here's your oil cap. That's where you're going to check your oil. So go ahead and take this off. Give yourself a little bit better airflow. And I'm going to set it right here so I don't lose it. Okay. Now you can go ahead and pull this out too. Wipe her down, give her a good cleaning. Because you don't really need it in there right now anyway. You're about to drain the oil. And then finally, that is where your oil filter is. And that's where that big socket comes into play. So if you've never changed your oil on a vehicle with one of these, you're gonna learn today. It even tells you what the torque spec is for that, which I'm not gonna torque it down. I'm just gonna hand tighten it and barely tighten it more. But you feel free to follow that torque spec on it. Okay, now that we've gotten the cap off, the dipstick out, we're gonna go ahead and climb underneath it with our ratchet and our socket and that drain pan. We're gonna drain the oil out of it. Okay, so we're here at the front of the vehicle. Come underneath it. See, I got a pretty good leak. I know the valve cover's leaking. I'm sure something else is too, though. We're basically on the passenger side. That is your oil pan, okay? Don't mess with that pan. It's your transmission pan. And we're gonna come up here to the oil pan. You see those two dots, actually. You see it's kind of a vein here. And that goes all the way to your bolt. So let's climb back here. And there she is. Let's go and get her tub back here. So, we're gonna come up here. Try not to get oil all over my church clothes. Try not to smash my finger as well. Really prefer not to do that. Oh my gosh. I ain't the world's strongest man, but I do wrench every day. I'm a heavy equipment mechanic. It ain't a weird spot, I guess, but somebody is freaking ugga-dugga that thing now.
Hey guys, I actually did get that drain plug off. I guess I just forgot to hit record. However, in this part of the video, the oil would be draining, so it'd be draining into that pan.
All right, so next thing, we're gonna go and take our same ratchet, take that long extension, and again, this is a 32 millimeter socket. We're gonna break that loose. See, that was actually not too terrible. Last guy didn't way over tighten it. And you do have to be careful not to misthread these as well. And it's good to go ahead and do this while your oil's draining, because again, it just lets a little more. Same reason we opened up that, took out the dipstick. So we want to let some air into this system. Let everything drain out. I may even let it drain out while I'm at church, because I ran a flush through this. It's not required, but I did. See, my filter's connected. I'm just letting it drain. I don't have my drain pan. There we go. I'll pick her straight up like that. And this oil was actually just changed. But again, I ran a flush through it and I let it sit overnight, eat up anything in the pan, and I haven't started and let it run again today. Just bought the car. I'm wanting to clean her out. If there's any oil leaks that are going to start, I'd rather them start now anyhow. So, oh, let's go ahead and throw her away. I guess I'll show you how to take this off. So the way these come out and go back in, well, you really need two hands. They pretty much just pop right in there. So you legit just grab it and just pull it out. You pull it straight out. I'd do it if I had my other hand. That's pretty well it. I went ahead and cleaned out where my filter is going to go. And I did clean this guy out too. Now let's go ahead and change this O-ring here. So I guess I didn't add that in the tool list, but I need either a little pick or a flathead screwdriver. I'll warm up a little bit over here while we're doing this. Oh, let's grab this guy. See, I did that one-handed, so it ain't too terrible. I'm gonna pop her right over the top. And that is your new O-ring that came in your came with your filter. If you didn't get one, as long as this one ain't destroyed, I mean, you can leave it. It ain't that huge of a deal. Or if you just really don't care, you can leave it as well. All right, so I got it on there. You can see down here at the very bottom, you can see the groove it sits in. I just got it in right there. We're gonna take our new filter. There's the pointy side that goes down in the motor. And there's that side. And that's just going to, again, the same way it came out. Hear it pop? She's in there. Now we'll go ahead and install this. So we'll drop it right down in there. And don't ever install these with a ratchet starting out. So what I did is I turned it left until you heard it click into place with your rewind. Now I'm turning it right by finger. That's how you don't end up like some of the oil change shops, just ugga-dug them in there and misthread it, starve engines with oil. So now she's on there hand tight. Now I'm going to take that socket, stick her on there. And we're just gonna, see, I'm not even gripping the whole thing. I don't want to do this thing stupid tight. And it stopped right there. Now I'm gonna go 2, 3. And I mean, I ain't forcing it too hard. So she's on there good. She is in there. Brand new filter is done. Okay. Let's go ahead. You see she's just dripping now. I'm happy with that. We'll grab our drain plug right here. And I'm gonna roll over. I'll do this backwards. There she goes. Hand tighten it all the way till you're on there. Get my ratchet up there. And in this position, I mean, I shouldn't over tighten it really. Got my other filter in the way. I don't want to be, there she goes, she's on there good. And there you go, that's it. I'm not gonna clean, I normally spray all this off while I was down here. But again, I've got a leak up top. Which I made a little better, but I'm gonna replace that gasket, so I'll eventually come clean all this. I'm gonna do a complete engine bay clean and undercarriage. All right, so go ahead and move your drain pan out. It takes some oil for being such a small car. And we're ready to add oil to it. All right, so we're ready for fluid. Last thing I forgot to mention, you may want a funnel. If not, you're probably gonna make a mess. Let's go ahead and get this thing off of these jack stands so we can get a proper reading on our dipstick. So it's the exact opposite, which should have kept it under there while I was underneath it. But anyhow, it's the exact opposite of putting it up. So go ahead and jack her up a little bit, pull out your 2 stands, and then drop her. You can leave the parking brake, all that on, not a big deal. And then we'll go ahead and fill her up. All right, so got the 2 stands out. It's basically just on this. While you drop these, you just turn them left. This one's getting old. Well, let's top her with fluid. So I went ahead and cleaned out my funnel. Stick her right in there. And we're gonna grab her oil. This motor takes 5W30 oil. You may add some Lucas if you got a pretty bad leak, or I love that Lucas oil additive. I'm not sponsored by anybody. I don't really have that many subscribers, but I am grateful for all you that do subscribe. And if you forgot to put your drain plug in, now's when you'd be hearing it. This oil's pretty cold, so it's taking a little while. Stopped up. All right, just let it drain here for a minute. Again, online says 5.1 quarts, but I'm gonna tell you exactly how much this car here takes on this is a level surface now. Okay, so I got that 5 quarts in. I'm gonna let it run down just for a minute, and then I'm gonna check it with a dipstick. Just a reminder, keep your oil jugs, because you need somewhere to put that. I use mine to burn. But you can drop this off at pretty well any parts store. Farmers will take it for their waste oil burners, or anybody that likes to burn with it will burn. But I do plan on making a waste oil burner here for the shop. Some pool noodles right there where one would go. And I've got everything shoved back there because I had to pull this car in on that boat. Okay, so here's our dipstick we pulled out earlier. If you didn't already, it is right here. That's where it would go. You pull it right out, you'll see that yellow top. Here's how you read it. So you want it to be in between these lines. Anywhere in between those lines is considered okay. You don't want to be over it, you don't want to be below it. If you're over it, you can pop that plug out and just drain a little bit. But if you're below it, you need to add oil. So let's stick her down there. It's been just a few minutes, that oil's had time to run down. Come on now. Push her all the way in, and then pull her all the way out. All right, so you see it's above it. Now don't freak out. Stick her back in there. We haven't started this car up yet to get oil and with the filter. So let's go ahead and take this funnel out. Set her here on my rag. Put your cap back on. I went ahead and cleaned her off. But we are going to go ahead and start up this vehicle. Let it run for about 15 seconds, if even really that. And then we're going to shut it off. But now we know there's oil in it. We know it's above the line, so that's probably the right amount. And then we are going to just shut it off. We're going to turn it on, run for a few seconds, and shut it off. All right. This car, you got to play with it a little bit. Goodness, there she goes. So the RPMs are up. We're just going to shut her off. And now you'll give it just a few minutes to go ahead and drain back down. Now while we're in here, if you want to be efficient with it, I'll just turn my key on. I've never done it. I've never seen one like this before. Got the spare fuses in there. All right, so I don't guess my car has it. That's the panel that just came off here. You'll see my last cut of this video. Just pull it straight out. Inside of here, right there, should be an oil and tire reset button. Right there at the top. If you have it, press it. I think you press it once and you hold it after you press it. So you press it once, let off, and then hold it while the key's on. It'll reset the oil life. But I'm gonna assume somebody got tired of hearing it ding in this vehicle. So they just took her out. But if, like I said earlier, somebody comment and tell us if that's really what it is. All right, so let's go ahead and check the oil. Pull her out. I like to give her a few seconds to drain back down that little hole there anyway. And we're gonna clean her off. I'm just grabbing it, wiping it. Not even worried about checking it off that first pull. Give it a few seconds. And then set it back down. And this is a few minutes after I shut it off from that little startup. All the way down, all the way out. And look at that, it's right below the top line. So that's perfect. So this vehicle takes 5 quarts of oil. My 5.1 that says online and that I even said earlier is incorrect. So it's 5 quarts of oil. So that's that. Aside from resetting my oil light, which is something, if you have that option, you should do. Let me back out a little bit. The oil is done on this vehicle. So I've already made an air filter video. I've made a washer fluid video. I'm going to make a fuel filter video. I'm going to do coolant in this thing. I'm going to drain it and refill it with new coolant. And I'll make other videos on how to fill up other fluids in this vehicle. I'm going to do a front end parts video. I'll do both wheel bearings. I'll do tie rods, ball joints, sway bar links, all that. And then I may do some stuff in the cab. If you guys have anything you want me to make a video on, please leave a comment. I like reading you guys' comments. I respond to them. But yeah, please like and subscribe. You guys have a great rest of your day.